As you can see by the title, today what we're talking about is essentially, are European players better than American players? Or has Europe taken over the NBA? And the simple question to that, or the simple answer to that, is obviously no, right? And historically, it's an American sport. Americans have dominated the NBA since it was created, right? But recently, with NBA becoming more of a global game, basketball becoming more of a global game, other countries are starting to catch up. Other continents are starting to catch up, and Europe in particular is they're producing some talent out there. They're producing some talent, and their top tier talent. A lot of them supersede our talent. Speaking, America. You know what I mean? But long story short, have they taken over the league? No, because most players in the NBA are obviously still American. But I guess what I wanted to think about is not only how far they've come, and shout out to Europe for being able to produce some talent like this and kind of shed some light on those guys and what they're doing, but also just kind of it's a good conversation. I mean, I feel like the growth has been rapid. Honestly, it's been rapid, and what we've been seeing, especially these past couple of years. I mean, you look at the past 5 MVPs. I mean, we got Jokic, 3-time MVP. We got Embiid. I know he's not European, but I kind of want to. When I say Europe, that I'm mainly talking about Europe, but overall I'm talking about the world, besides the United States. Like, you think about all these foreign-born players. I just mainly wanted to focus on Europe because mostly they're producing the most talent. I know technically Joel Embiid is obviously from Africa, but, I mean, you got Joel Embiid, MVP. You got Nikola Jokic, 3-time MVP. And then you look at, SGA, who's an MVP favorite. Canadian. You look at Luka Doncic, who's been an MVP favorite for the past 3 years. European. So it's interesting. I wanted to hop into this video from about a year ago. I believe his name is Noah Lyles. When he made that comment saying that, when an NBA team wins a championship, they shouldn't, say that they're world champions or they're not world champions because it's not like a World Cup. It's not set up like how soccer is. But I mean, yeah, it's an old Jimmy High Roller video. Shout out to Jimmy. And we're gonna get into it, because I feel like this is kind of interesting, and it's kind of like what I was just talking about. And I think Jimmy makes some good points. Some of these guys he has on the video make some really good points. But, yeah, without further ado, let's hop into it. And like I said, again, shout out to Jimmy High Roller. If you don't know who Jimmy High Roller is, I don't even think you watch basketball, because every hoop head knows who Jimmy High Roller is. Check him out for real.
In the NBA, I don't think there's a single topic where everyone is in agreement. In all my days, all the debates, takes, forums, media, I have never seen everyone come together and agree on anything. Until a few days ago. All thanks to this man.
It was crazy. When this first happened, it was crazy.
Anything we have ever seen, NBA players have joined forces all to tell this guy he's wrong. The worst part, he might be right.
I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what?
That was a stupid comment. If you think that he's right, just stop watching my video.
Really excited to announce the sponsor of today's video.
It was a stupid comment.
ELP.
It was a stupid comment.
Sports, and they virtually exist in two different.
Obviously, Jimmy's gonna break it down. We won't watch the whole thing,
the two
but
sports collided.
It's a good conversation. Stupid comment by Noah Lyles, though. Shout out to what he did in the Olympics, though. I know he went crazy.
So, what better opportunity for me to blow it even more out of proportion? You see this guy right here? This is Noah Lyles. He's the fastest man in the world. And this past week, he pulled off the coveted triple gold at the 2023 World Championships, winning the 100, the 200, and the 4x100 relay, a feat that hasn't been pulled off on the world stage since 2016 by an athlete y'all may or may not be familiar with, named Usain Bolt. Yeah, Noah Lyles is really good.
Crazy.
And after his historic week on the track, Lyles had some strong words about the idea of being a world champion and how some leagues use the title when they probably shouldn't.
That hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what?
I'm curious, like, did somebody ask him a question about this, or was he just hating? Because it seemed kind of random how he just brought that up. Like, why did he just bring that up?
Times.
I don't know.
But that
It's weird.
ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are.
Let's get to where my boy. Obviously,
I've
every NBA player pretty much in the league was annihilating Noah, saying that it was a stupid
ever
comment.
seen in my 7 years covering
But
the
Jimmy's
NBA,
gonna break this
players
down.
across the league chimed in on the discussion. To win a world title means beating the rest of the world, and rightfully so. But when it comes to basketball, specifically the NBA, I would disagree. The NBA, despite the
Obviously.
word national literally being in the name, is a league comprised of the best basketball players in the world. It isn't some second-rate league. It isn't a sport that's only played here in the States. It is by far the best basketball league on the planet. In fact, out of 537 active NBA players, 128 of them are international
Wow.
players. That's 24% of the league. The OKC
1/4.
Thunder have 9 international players from 5 different countries on their roster alone. Unlike a sport like American football, which is almost exclusively played in the US, basketball is a worldwide sport with leagues around the globe. The best players from every country all ending up in the NBA. Now, sure, the NBA Finals isn't technically
That was pretty much the end of the
World
argument. That
Championship
statement
by
right there is the end of the
definition,
argument.
But an NBA championship team is naturally the world champions since the league is home to the best talent
that was a
in
good-
the world.
that was a good
Would it be
little
anything
diagram you
more
just
than
did
a
right there.
formality to send, let's say, the Denver Nuggets to Spain to play the Real Madrid basketball club, parade around the world to prove they are definitively the world champs? No. And yet, that is exactly what some NBA teams do. Since 1984, and held nearly every year since, a handful of NBA teams play exhibition games against international teams. And since 1984, there have been 178 of these NBA team versus international team games. Of those 178 games, NBA teams have won 161 of them, giving NBA teams a win percentage against international teams over the last 4 decades of 90%. In fact, the NBA's record against international teams over the last 42
Respect to Jimmy,
games
like he puts
is
in a lot of effort
41
on his videos.
and 1.
And this is like a
Look at
year
this.
ago. Like
The
his
Blazers
videos have
were
only
one of
gotten
the
better.
worst teams in the league last season, won only 33 games. I would know. Unfortunately, they're my team. Last October, they faced this team, a team out of the Israeli National Basketball League with a name I won't even try to pronounce.
Never heard of
The
them.
Blazers blew them out by 53 points. Here's another game from last season, where a ragtag OKC Thunder lineup played a game against a team from the Australian.
So yeah, essentially like what he's saying is the comment was dumb. Yes, there are some great NBA European players. Even some of the top players, you could say the best player in the NBA right now, Nikola Jokic, is European. But to say that, the league is not an American league or that the best basketball players in the world aren't American, still, it's just not true. It's just not true. The best players in the world is still people mostly from the United States. And I'm surprised that Europe or international players take up that much of the NBA. I mean, he said 1/4, but that means 75% are American. So, I mean, like that I was just saying, have they completely taken over the league? They have not. Europe has not completely taken over the league, but hey, maybe it could get there one day. Not too sure, but right now, have they? No. Although the top end talent, I would say they have. They have. I mean, even when not even talking about the top guys in the league right now. Obviously, Jokic, Giannis, Embiid, all in their prime, all top 5 players in the NBA. If you don't want to say they're top 5, I mean, honestly, they're top 5. There's nothing to talk about there. And then you even look at some of the up and coming stars in the league right now. Luka Doncic, European. Wembanyama, European. You look at SGA, Canadian. Like, it's starting to shift the dialogue about it because of the top end talent. Have they taken over the whole league? That's a statement that is just not true just yet. But hey, America, they're on y'all's head. They're on our head. They're coming. And you know what comes down? Tatum, Anthony Edwards. We need y'all. Where y'all at? Where y'all at? Bron and Steph and KD, they can't save y'all forever. We need y'all too. Y'all are best too. Devin Booker, where you at? Ja, where you at? Zion, I'm not even gonna get started on Zion because that ship has sailed in my mind. Paolo's with us. I think he's like Italian or something. No, he's with us. Paolo, D Book, Tyrese, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum. Come on, compete. But yeah, man, it was a good conversation. I wanted to show a little bit of that Jimmy High Roller video just to show how I feel like the narrative has been changing these past couple of years. Even that statement that Noah Lyles made, you got people, openly saying that, it's not a world championship if an NBA team wins. I mean, it is because all the best players from all around the world come here to play, and a lot of those players being European players. So it was an interesting little narrative that I wanted to talk about. Not a direct correlation, but you guys get the idea of what I was trying to say. But you guys let me know what you guys think about, Europe and international players taking over the league. Most of the top players being international players. A lot of our, our childhood stars, our American childhood stars are, exiting the league. So maybe the league could start to turn into an international league very, very soon. Sooner rather than later. As soon as guys like LeBron and KD are out. But I want to know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all showing up, showing love, showing out all the time. NBA's in 1 week. And we're going to get it going. There's not going to be any hesitancy from me when it comes to pushing this content off of y'all boys. But yeah, man, comment. Let me know. Thumb me up. Appreciate y'all. Y'all stay safe. Tommy Uno out. Peace.